Welcome to the Guru Guide to Podcasting podcast, where we help businesses produce profitable podcasts for their business so they can attract more clients, dominate social media as a subject matter expert, generate more income, and do it all while working less. My name is Kidboy Cooper. I'm the founder of the Creative Podcast Network, the creator and host of Empower You Podcast. And on this podcast, you're going to learn everything you need to know about creating, producing, and monetizing your very own business podcast. So if you're tired of being stuck on the social media hamster wheel and you're ready to save time, generate more income without being stuck on your phone, you're going to absolutely love this podcast. So let's get started. Yo, what is up? What is up? My name is Kidboy Cooper. I am the Guru Guide to Podcasting host. So, on this episode, we're going to talk about some major steps that you need to take if you're going to start your business podcast, okay? To get the ball rolling. So, let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to walk you through some of the first major steps you need to take as you're beginning your business podcast. That way, you're not just kind of treading water, okay? We got to get you moving so that we can get some momentum going. And then before you know it, you've got this awesome podcast that you're super excited to share with everybody. So I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Boom. All right, here we go. So here are the first major steps you need to take when you're starting your business podcast, okay? So the first thing you want to do is decide on your title. Your title is going to be very, very important because your title helps your listener more than it helps you. It helps you really stand out in the crowd, okay? So here's some things you want to consider. You want to have a clearly identifiable title, okay? So you don't want things that are super abstract and that people won't necessarily know what you're talking about. You want to make sure your title is super clear. That way, when they're scrolling through and they find your business podcast, they know exactly what it's about and they know that it's for them. It helps them fix or meet a need, solve a problem right out the gate, okay? Okay, the next thing you want it to be is easy to remember. We got a lot of stuff going on, right? We got a lot of things that are happening in our lives. You know, it can get a little sticky, right? It can get a little weird. And so we want to make sure that when we are offering solutions to our clients, to our ideal listeners, to our ideal client, we want them to be as comfortable as possible. And having things that are easy to remember, easy to access, easy to execute are going to help you increase your know, like, and trust factor, right? Know, like, trust. Know your work. Know the podcast, right? Like the podcast. It speaks directly to their problem and it helps them solve the problem. And then 3, they trust you, right? Because everything is very clear and very upfront. There's a lot of integrity in your work and you're not trying to pull a fast one on people, okay? So that's what easy to remember means, all right? And then it's easy to recognize, whether it's your logo, your colors, your title, font. You want all of these things to be very easy to remember, very easy to recognize, because when they're scrolling, you want things to jump out. You want it to be an attractive logo, but that's clean and simple because people are going to want to read this. So it needs to be simple, okay? So easy to recognize is a really big thing there. All right, next. Okay, hold on one second there. All right, hold on. I got a weird little second here. Wow. Oh, okay. The next thing you want to do is get the domain for your business podcast. So you've got the title, right? It clearly identifies your topic. It's easy to remember, and it's very recognizable. So now we need to go ahead and we need to buy that domain, because what's going to happen is maybe that domain may be on your website. Maybe you use this for a lot of different things, but you want to be able to create a website if you need to with the specific name of your podcast. And sometimes when you're going and searching for your domain, you may have to get slightly creative, but with maybe the spelling or something like that, in order to secure your domain, but you want to secure your domain, okay? And if you can't secure the domain, you may want to go back to the drawing board and get creative, and following this guideline, get creative about what your podcast is going to be called, because you want to make sure that you can own all of the assets that are involved in your podcast. Your podcast becomes its own ecosystem, right? And it can help you generate a lot of clients and help you earn a lot of income. And so you want to own all of the pieces, as many of the pieces as possible. You do not want to be just out there with a podcast. You want to own it. Ownership is very important. You're going to be really upset if somebody steals your podcast name, or they try to go ahead and re-trademark something you've already trademarked. It's just good business. You got to play offense and defense, and securing the assets, securing the name, the .com for your business podcast is going to be a very important part of that process. Okay. All right. So here's a resource that I think will be helpful for you. Now, I use GoDaddy. That's the website, and then that's also the logo. So I've used GoDaddy for several years, and it's always been super easy, super convenient, and I would recommend you use GoDaddy so that you can search domains for your podcast, for your business, for other things. And then you can purchase them, and they may come with different protection plans and things like that. Now, I will say this: if you already have some service that you're using to buy your domains, use that service. I mean, this is just something that I recommend as far as GoDaddy. You don't have to do that, but GoDaddy.com has been really good to me, and so I'm always happy to share that with you guys, so that you can secure and protect your business podcast name. Okay. All right. So that is it for deciding your title for your business podcast. Okay. Again, my name is Kidboy Cooper. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you in another episode of the Guru Guide to Podcasting. I'll talk to you later. Peace. Thank you so much for watching the Guru Guide to Podcasting podcast. If you found this information super helpful, I want you to leave us a review and a 5-star rating, okay? Give us a like, a thumbs up, share it, follow, subscribe, wherever you're viewing this at. Leave us a comment as well and let us know how we're doing. And if you have any specific questions about podcasting for your business, you can leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to respond, okay? And if you are ready to start implementing, you're done learning, you're done listening, you're ready to start putting boots on the ground, I want you to go to www.workwithkidboycooper.com, okay? www.workwithkidboycooper.com. On that website, you're going to find a case study video. You'll simply put in your email address and I'll send you a case study where I break down the top elements that executives, experts, authors, 7-figure earners are all using in order to make their podcast more profitable, to attract more clients, and to work less by podcasting, okay? It's a fantastic case study video and I can't wait for you to look at it. So again, that's www.workwithkidboycooper.com. And for the rest of all of us who are learning and moving through this business podcast space, I will talk to you guys in another episode. Peace.